Welcome back to Hilltop Cottage. If it's your first time here, welcome. I hope that you enjoy this video. Today I'll be sharing some Christmas crafts with you, including how to make your own wreaths for under $3, as well as how to make your own beeswax taper candles. There are several other crafting projects I have planned out for this season, but I only have a limited time I could share in one video, and I don't always film everything that I do. So I do want to keep this video to at least a watchable time frame. So I'll be sharing just a few crafts, and you could follow along on my Instagram at Live Lovely Travel if you want to see more. Natural wreaths can cost a lot of money sometimes, and it's also a little expensive to make your own. So I have this little tip to make realistic, beautiful wreaths under $3. So what you need is, of course, a faux wreath like this one here. I got this one at Michael's craft store. It was on sale and I had a coupon. So I got it for $3. You could find them at thrift shops, as well as other craft stores and dollar stores. So you'll take your wreath and you will take a bunch of little sprigs. You could forage for these, or you could go to your nearby farm, your Christmas tree farm or nursery, and ask for scraps from the Christmas trees. I asked a local Christmas tree farm if I could take some scraps, and they gave me all these for free. The key to making a realistic looking wreath with the scraps that you have is to use at least 2 different kinds of pine. You could also add bows and other things to it, but I like mine just here with the pine needles and these 2 different types of Christmas tree scraps. And you're going to place them in with the faux wreath and blend it in with the fake branches. Here is a wreath side by side with the one that I just did, so you can see it looks so much more full and realistic. I made these dried orange slices out of blood oranges and regular oranges a couple Christmases ago, and they're still good. Honestly, if you have the room, I would suggest putting them in a little box or a bag and reusing them year after year as long as they're fresh. I put them here in the wreath to give it a little classic Christmas touch. My smaller wreaths are complete. I'm really happy with how they came out. They look very natural and very full, and I'm looking forward to hanging these up. Oh, they're just beautiful, and they smell good too. And now I'm going to decorate this larger one. So I'm going to make it nice and full, and then I am going to put glue 4 little taper candle holders that I'm going to make out of clay here all around, 4 evenly spaced, and in between those 4 there's going to be ribbon. So it'll be 4 pieces of ribbon tied in a bow and then hanging from the ceiling above the table. I don't know what they're called, but I've seen them plenty of times before where you have that kind of a wreath chandelier. And that is my goal for this. I'm looking forward to seeing if I can make it work. To make the candlestick holders, you are going to need the candle that you need for the size, as well as the air dry clay or a Sculpey clay like this one here, which is an oven baked clay, my favorite. I also like to use baking mats when working with clay to keep it a little messy, or mess free, and I like to also use it to put it in the oven. I simply wrapped the clay around the candle to get the size that I wanted for the little candle holders. Once your oven is preheated to 275 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to pop them in for 15 minutes. These Gorilla glue sticks are so strong and my go-to for all my crafting projects. I looped in some red velvet ribbon and super glued it together so that I could hang it from the ceiling. This evening I'll be sharing with you my favorite French Toast Casserole recipe. It's my cozy go-to breakfast for winter, spring, holidays. I especially love it for Christmas morning, and you're going to make it the night before you cook it. You can use your favorite bread. Mine is French brioche. I just absolutely love the way it tastes as a French toast casserole. You are going to begin by breaking up your bread into small chunks and pieces and laying them out in a casserole dish. Depending on the size of your casserole dish and how much bread you used, you're going to need about 2 or 3 eggs. You're going to crack them and blend them all together. going to whisk in some milk of your choice, whether it's whole milk, you could even use eggnog or heavy cream. I prefer just using regular milk, but you could also use oat milk, almond milk, whichever is your favorite. I sprinkle in about 2 tablespoons of sugar. And you're going to pour in a small splash of vanilla. I like to add a couple shakes of the Trader Joe's pumpkin pie spice. If you don't have the pumpkin pie spice in your pantry, you could use cinnamon. And a sprinkling of local maple sugar. Then you will evenly pour the mixture over the bread, making sure it's all soaked. And then I like to sprinkle on just a tad bit of cinnamon on top when I'm done. The last step is to leave your casserole overnight in the fridge. Tomorrow morning we are going to enjoy the most delicious French toast casserole, but for now I'm going to do some reading by candlelight. We're going to bake your French toast casserole at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 minutes, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the size of the casserole. You're going to want it to be slightly golden.
Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation. Sing, all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God.
I just went to Milford Photo and I felt like a kid in a candy store, but I was there to drop off film. I didn't buy anything, but since it's so close to the ceramic studio, I picked up our Christmas trees. I didn't want to film when I was in there because they have a class going on, but they're so cute. Let me show you. Here we have, there's the lights put on. Oh, this is adorable. And there's my pink base. I'm actually pretty happy with how it came out. And these are the little lights and the star that goes on the top. So I'll have to put that together when I get home. I'm really excited.
Yes, oh come let us adore him. Oh come let us adore him. Oh come let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Yea, Lord, we greet thee, born this happy morning. Jesus, to thee be all glory given. Son of the Father, now in flesh appearing. Oh, come let us adore him. Oh, come let us adore him. Oh, come let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
We are going to be making natural beeswax taper candles for the Christmas table. So I know that candles aren't necessarily a necessity anymore. We have electricity, but I do feel it's a wonderful old-fashioned skill that I wanted to have. I do use candles, and I'd rather use and make my own out of natural organic beeswax, natural essential oils, and dyes instead of using items that could have chemicals in them. So I'm going to show you how to make them. Someone saw my, quite a few people actually have seen my taper candles on social media, on my Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Live Lovely Travel. That's LIVELOVELY. So Live Lovely, it's my life manifesto, my motto. And I thought I would show you today how I make those natural beeswax candles so you can make them yourself. And I'll be dyeing them red for my little wreath. I don't know what it's called. I've been calling it a wreath chandelier. I made this natural wreath by putting natural elements of little tree branches and little scraps from Christmas trees into a pre-made faux wreath. And the reason why I did that is more budget friendly. I got the wreath for about, I think it was $3, and then I had an additional 20% off coupon. And so that's been really exciting. To get a beautiful spiral candle, a taper candle, you are going to need a silicone candle mold like this one. This one's easy because you could just pop the wick right in. You don't have to use a wicking needle. And then I love using a little bit of dye. I use this red dye for a beautiful Christmas candle color. Since I don't have a candle pot warmer, I use just a pot of water on the stove top to warm up my wax. So I have one of regular beeswax and one with the dye. I like to keep them separate because, it's so dirty and messy, and I just like to reuse the same candle pot for red wax or green wax or whatever other color, and then have my other one just normal beeswax. You're going to really want to seal up the cracks with rubber bands. If you don't have enough rubber bands, you could use hair ties. But this is a very important step to prevent the candle from leaking. Sometimes they leak anyway, but you got to do your best. I use these little wick holders to hold the candle wick nice and even in the center. You could also use toothpicks if you don't have any of these, or I've seen people use clothespins too. Let's see how the first candle came out. Rookie mistake, I forgot to tap out the bubbles. So this one has a little bit of bubbling, which isn't a big problem. We could fix that with the next one. You are going to gently tap your candle mold up and down and tap the sides to get the bubbles out. Putting down wax paper is a lifesaver. I totally left this out. I should have put some down because I ended up spilling on the counter. So I scraped it off and then I used a little bit of hot water to melt off the wax. I also enjoy rolling my own candles out of beeswax sheets like this one here. So these are really easy to make at home. Anyone can do it, especially children and families. So you're going to just fold over the corners to get the wick covered in wax, and then you're going to gently roll. Homemade beeswax candles make the most beautiful Christmas gifts. Look at all these beautiful candles I just made. How stunning are these beeswax ones? And these are for my wreath. I just finished making my candles. The kitchen is a mess, but I'm very happy with how they came out. Yeah, I'm not an expert candle maker, but I will say there are a few tips if you are working with beeswax and molds. One is rubber bands. Oh my gosh, if you're using a silicone mold, they will leak. Even if you band them really well, you're going to get leaks. If you're using a dye, it's going to splatter and the color will get in everywhere and it'll stain things. So I like to put down wax paper so it's an easier cleanup. Also, if you haven't used molds before, you'll get bubbles sometimes. So the first candle I made, I totally forgot to tap the mold, but when you put the wax in the mold, you're going to want to tap it a little bit and tap the sides and tap it up and down, and it'll get the bubbles out. These are just so pretty. I can't wait to put them on the wreath. I'm gonna go put them up now. And it's a little dark in the dining room, so I'll take a video in the morning and show you how they look. I've been working on candles all evening. I made some for my coworkers for a Christmas present, and yeah, so I'm just really happy and joyful with how these beautiful beeswax candles came out. I didn't use the scents. I thought about maybe putting in some essential oil, but that natural smell of beeswax is just too good. wanting to make one of these for years, and I'm so happy with how it came out.